This is my book of the week. Even though we read Wonder Woman, my book of the week is Iron Man #1.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to pick something else, but okay.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to disappoint you. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
more Iron
yeah.
Man.
I'm out later.
I know you finna go and Ooh,
Iron
what's
Man
gonna be
number
this?
one. Oh, no shit. Okay.
Yeah, another Iron Man. We read Iron Man #1 last year. So yeah. So this is a reboot. I mean, not a reboot. A new run. It's a new run.
Yeah.
New writing team,
A
new artist,
rebirth.
rebirth, relaunch, whatever you want to
Yeah.
call it. It's a new storyline. Started from the beginning. We picked where it
A
left off.
requel. Yeah.
Right. So all the X-Men bullshit that he was tied in with last year, all that's done. So the book starts off, they're in New York and they're at a Stark factory. And the thing is, the factory workers are trying to unionize. Since they're trying to unionize, they're locked out. They're basically saying, you got to go home because since y'all going to unionize, we're closing the factory until y'all stop doing this shit. They're like, no, you're going to come through there. And that's when the two security guards like, no, you're not coming through. And they turn into big monsters. And they
Okay.
chased them away. Yeah, they chased away. Like we said, get the fuck out of here.
They turn into Hulklings.
They turn it, and that's what they say. They say, they're Hulks. Get the fuck out of here. The Stark Enterprise, Tony Stark sent Hulks after us. So, and that's when they run after them and they try to catch them, stuff like that. And that's when, bam, they get blasted by a Unibeam. And that's when Iron Man shows up. And the reason he shows up, because he's just like, look, let's get two things straight. One, the lockout is over and he blows open the locks of the gate. See? Locks blown out. Locks over. Y'all go inside. And these guys are not Hulks, but what they are fired. He was like, fuck you, Stark. You didn't hire us. They're like, oh, so I ain't got to go through HR to fuck you up? Cool. Yeah, it's like, I'm going to show you why you guys are not Hulks. And then they jump at them and bam, they get blasted. And then they're like, oh, shit. See, I told you what Hulk. Y'all feel that shit or y'all want some more? And then they turn back and they just walk off. He was like, okay, make sure y'all talk to HR and don't complain about this shit to me because I know y'all work for the guys that's under me. So, yeah. So they move on there. And then the reason Tony Stark is here to talk to that guy because he wants to know why they're unionizing against him. You're like, the reason we're unionizing is because I know you got a problem with the stuff we're building here. And what are they building at this factory? Stark Sentinels. This is where
Still?
they made them. No. That's where they made them.
Okay.
Yeah, they had factories all over the country. So they're like, since Tony Stark is back in power, he was like, I don't want Stark Sentinels be made. He was like, matter of fact, y'all don't have a problem building Stark Sentinels here? He was like, yeah, I got a problem Stark Sentinels building here. I don't even have a problem with mutants. But you know what I like doing? Paying my light bill, putting food on my family's table. I like doing that. So I'm building whatever y'all want me to build. But here's the thing. First thing y'all tell us to build weapons. Then you tell us don't build weapons. Then you tell us to build weapons again. We tired of this shit. So we want say so in what we build here. See, who like, okay, fine, I'll do that. Matter of fact, I'll talk to the board. We're going to work it in the contract. We will recognize you as a union, and we will work with you together on what gets built in this factory. He was like, deal. Because we're tired of whatever decisions y'all decide to make. We got to turn around and stop everything we're doing. We want to say so in that. He was like, fine, I understand you show but tell, but don't worry. It's going to work out. And he flies away. And all of a sudden, his boots run out of gas. You're like, what the fuck? Bam, he flies right through the factory. And they're like, oh, shit, what the fuck? Is he dead? Call an ambulance. So weeks go by. He was in a coma. Like, he got fucked up.
Damn.
Yeah, he got fucked up. He got, matter of fact, he broken bones, all kind of shit like that. He has to go to rehab. He has to relearn how to walk. And now look at him. Remember, he looked like he was all Tony Starkish in the first few issues. Now look at him. He's all weak and shit like that. Beard grown out, looking straggling and shit like that. Lost all that weight because he's been in rehab the whole time. So you're like, damn, they fucked me up. But he's not worried about any of that. Only thing he's worried about is how the hell did his suit malfunction? Because he ran the numbers. He did the diagnostic like that. He didn't find anything. She's like, what the hell? Okay. So he decided to whatever's going on, just decided to reboot all his suits just to make sure whatever happened doesn't happen again. So that's what's going on right now. But the thing is, today is the day he's having a meeting with his board. He has a board meeting. It's the first meeting he's had since he became CEO of Stark Enterprise again. So he can't miss the board because it's a whole new board. So he goes there, and it is all the dudes that used to run Orcus. They're over his board right now. So they hate him and he hates them, but he's got to deal with them. So, and it's all kind of shield agents there that try to assassinate him and stuff like that. Oh, And this is what caught my attention. Melinda May is in this comic.
All right.
The Cavalry. For those who don't know who that is, she's from Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
The Cavalry, yes.
The Cavalry, yeah. So Melinda May, Ming Na Wen, that's what she played. So yeah. All right. So anyway, they're basically saying, so Stark is here like, look, I got this idea. I got this idea called Stark Book, where we're going to have people bet on superhero fights. You're like, oh, okay, Tony, I don't give a fuck. Like, no, we're going to do this because I'm getting out the weapons factory. You're like, no, you're not. And that's when Monica Rappaccini shows up. Now, for those who know who Monica Rappaccini is, she is the scientist supreme of AIM. They just made a huge deal on Stark Enterprises. They want to buy the whole company. And you're like, wait a minute, y'all finna sell the company to supervillains? Like, you know who she is, right? She's a terrorist. Yeah, she is, but she's a terrorist with a large bank account. And the reason she's there because they got bought out by Roxxon. So Roxxon bought AIM, and AIM is trying to buy Stark. And like, hold up, y'all okay with this? We're being bought by supervillains, terrorists, and oil companies just so we can make weapons? Like, no, this don't even seem right. You're like, look, you got a problem with it, Tony? You can vote in the board meeting next time we have a vote on it. But until then, there's nothing you can do about it. And she got this shitty grin on her face like that because she knows she basically beat him. Can't do anything. And he's back at his house just throwing shit because he know they beat him. And he's got his Iron Man helmet on, kind of like a VR headset. He's reading over the documents that AIM sent them to buy the company out. And he's also arguing with trolls on Twitter. They talking all kind of shit about him. And the footage of him falling, it's all over the internet. So everybody's on Twitter talking shit to him and stuff like that. They were like, good job, Iron Lib. Glad your woke ass failed. You know. And then you got Go DEI fall out the sky. For those who know who DEI is, that is diversity, equity, and inclusion. It's the new word for woke since y'all got about woke. It's a new woke. We're not going to get into it. But I'm just funny that they threw that in there. And then this other dude named Flying Tiger talking shit. And that's when he decided to respond to him. We're like, who the fuck are you, Flying Tiger? You know, he tells the man to do that. He was like, and this was like, oh, why don't you come find out? You left your location on, dumbass. And then he sees an explosion right across the street from him. Like, oh, shit. So Flying Tiger, the dude on Twitter, is talking shit to him, telling him to come find him. He was like, okay, fine, I'll go find you. So he goes and he sees the laundromat on fire. So he goes in there to see what's going on, blows up the laundromat. Even though he did a scan to see who's in there, he didn't see a scan of anybody, but these two dudes smacked the shit out of him. And they call themselves Team Tiger. One is Flying Tiger, the other one is Tiger Shark. And Tony Stark is just like, Tiger Shark is not a shark, you dumbasses. He was like, I tried to tell him that. And he starts smacking the shit out of him and blasting him. You got this big fight. They get bitten. And see, this is one of his weaker suits. And since he's still recovering, he feels all that shit. He smack him in the head, stuff like that. But he's like tired of that shit. So he body slams both of them. And then he looks over there and he's like, wait a minute. Are y'all Twitch streaming this shit? Like, y'all Twitch streaming me whooping your ass. He was like, let me guess. You blew up a laundromat because after you thought you were going to whoop my ass, you wanted to look at the camera and say, I'm washed. You're like, motherfucker, you are washed. You're like, well, yeah, if I'm washed, why'd I whoop your ass? You're like, well, it doesn't even matter because my boss told me to just keep you busy anyway. And matter of fact, you better even think about getting that magic armor. And then he realized what happened. They sent some jobbers after him as a distraction. So like, oh, shit, I need to get to my factory. So he flies out of there. It's like Sonic Boom and shit like that, goes to his factory, walks in there, and bam, those same dudes that he fought at the beginning of the comic are back. He was like, didn't I tell y'all to take up your grievance with HR? He was like, nah, Stark, we here to whoop your ass. Like, are you ready to whoop my ass? No. And he like smacked the shit out of them, whooped their ass. And after he beats them, he finds out that who's the boss that sent the Team Tigers and these assholes after him. They flips on the light, and it is Justine Hammer. Right. Justin Hammer's daughter that died back in the 80s. And Iron Man is just like, how the fuck are you back? He was like, Roxxon knows several things some may deem unnatural or whatever the fuck. So yeah. So she's the new Roxxon CEO. Remember, they killed Dario Auger, the Minotaur dude.
The Minotaur.
Yeah, because everybody thinks Thor murdered him, but he something else. I forgot what took him out. Anyway, that's new Roxxon CEO. She like, Tony, I'm here. Roxxon put me in charge because they want your company just that bad. They knew I was going to be the one to make it happen. He was like, oh, really? Well, we're going to see what the fuck happens. So that's when Tony's like, okay, so the reason I'm here to get my Mysterium armor, you know, the Mysterium anti-magic, stronger than adamantium, stronger than vibranium, all-powerful suit that nobody can stop. He was like, yeah, I'm going to fuck you up now. He was like, your Mysterium armor? You mean my Mysterium armor? Matter of fact, Tony, I appreciate you building that armor so we can steal it from you later on. Because remember, everything in this warehouse belongs to us because we're about to buy you. So she pulls out the Mysterio armor, turns it on, and becomes Ironmonger 2.0. And Tony's
Okay.
like, oh shit, a giant robot. What am I gonna do? I'm so scared. And smacks the shit out of him. He's like, bitch, my wife made this suit for me. You're like, you mean your ex-wife? So he's blasting and shit like that, but it ain't really working. And that's when Justine Hamilton's telling him, Tony, don't you understand? This is not Armor Wars Part 3 or 2, whatever you want to call it. This fight is over. Don't you understand why your boots went out to begin with? Because I turned them off. Matter of fact, suit, stop. And he just drops to the ground. And she was like, oh shit. So what happened? Those two monster assholes that raided Stark Laboratory to begin with, they plant a virus in his laboratory, but they did a magic virus. That's why his sensors didn't pick it up. And then when one of his suits got infected with the virus, when he did the update and the patch, he spread the virus to all of his suits. So he did their work for them. And she's like, thank you, Stark. You did all this shit for me. Now I control all of your suits. So, and she could have killed him right then and there, but she's just like, you know what? I'll meet you at the board meeting next week, Stark. And just gets in her limousine and just leaves. Because she knows there's nothing he can do. He's beaten. So Tony's just like, okay, I can't use any of my suits. They had the Mysterio armor. They took it from me. I'm still recovering from the hospital. And he decides that, fuck it, only one thing for me to do. Make another suit. Down, 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 down. The end. So yeah. So yeah, so that's why
nobody wants him.
So that's why Iron Man has the steampunk armor this in modern time. So because he can't use the other suits, he has to build an offline throwback suit. He's got to go old school. He's got to go analog.
All right.
So yeah, I like the book. The reason I like, and I know Eli, why I keep staying on these Iron Man books like that. I like the dichotomy of the book because you got a superhero that's worst enemy is capitalism, but his superpower is capitalism. It's the dichotomy, you know.
I see.
Yeah. And they throw all kind of like capitalistic political messages and stuff like that, you know, corporate messages, stuff like that. Like, okay, because he could just go in there and just blow up the suits and stuff like that, but he can't do that because his shareholders would sue him. So he just can't just superhero out, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Red tape. I love that. So yeah, that's all I got. That's all I got.
Deep.
I'm gonna get it.
Deep.
It's deep, man. I'm gonna give it a 4.5 out of 5. They got it. It's like I said, it's a good jumping off point. You know how DC's got this all-in stuff right there. This is a very good jumping off point if you just want to pick up an Iron Man book and don't know shit that's going on. New run, you jump into it, boom, it's there. It makes references to all the other stuff, but yeah, you know, you can pick up what's going on.